Welcome to Triumph IAS. It's a daily mains practice question and answer series. This program is exclusively designed for UPSC CSE aspirants. In this video discussion, we will discuss UPSC CSE mains previous 25-year questions. Question number 1. Economic growth in the recent past has been led by increase in labor activity. Explain this statement. Suggest the growth pattern that will lead to creation of more jobs without compromising labor productivity. Let's start with the introduction of the answer. Economic growth in the recent past has been led by increase in labor activity. As the access to education expanded rapidly through the 90s, the young started remaining in education. Hence, entrance to the labor force rose sharply to 2 million between 2004 to 5 and 2011 to 2012, just when the economy and job growth was booming. 7.5 million per annum new non-agricultural jobs were created over that period. Since then, better educated youth started joining the labor force, looking for work. The main body of the answer should be growth pattern that can keep job creation with labor productivity. The Ministry of Urban Development, MOUD, has a program called Amrit, aimed at improving infrastructure for small towns. Infrastructure investment by the government always creates many jobs. But the MOUD program does not take into account whether the infrastructure investment under this program is taking place in towns which have clusters of unorganized sector economic activities. Hence, an engagement between MOUDs and MSME is necessary to ensure that this happens. It will attract more investment to industrial clusters, which is where most non-agricultural jobs are. There are 1,400 modern industry clusters in India, and an additional 14,000 traditional product manufacturing clusters, like handloom, handicraft, and other traditional single-product group clusters. There is a Cluster Development Program, CDP, of the Ministry of MSMEs as well as the Ministry of Textiles, which is poorly funded and could be better designed as well. Conclusion of the answer is: India may well be the world's fastest growing large economy, yet compared to the dream run of the Northeast, now investment is lower, as is credit of take, capacity utilization in industry, plant load factor, and agricultural growth. Question number 2. The newly Tri-Nation Partnership AUKUS is aimed at countering China's ambitions in the Indo-Pacific region. Is it going to supersede the existing partnerships in the region? Discuss the strength and impact of AUKUS in the present scenario. Let's start with the introduction of the answer. The United States, United Kingdom, and Australia announced a new trilateral security partnership for the Indo-Pacific called AUKUS on 16 September 2021, under which America and Britain will help Australia deploy nuclear-powered submarines in the Pacific region. The main body of the answer should be: Number 1. The current deal can be seen as an effort by UK and US to strengthen the defence capabilities of Australia. The nuclear-powered submarines are needed in the region for maintenance of peace in the region. Number 2. One important dimension reflected by this deal is that US and UK are now strongly committed to having free, open, resilient, and inclusive Indo-Pacific. The US has committed to be in the Indo-Pacific region. The Chinese expansionist approach and its muscle flexing require robust defense capabilities of the nations in the region. The Chinese coercive approach works because smaller nations do not have capabilities to match the power of China. Number 3. The leaders of the three countries said the alliance will help to ensure peace and stability in the Indo-Pacific region. While the AUKUS is not connected with the Quad, its objectives are the same as that of the latter. Both desire peace and stability in the region and are opposed to the aggressiveness of China. Number 4. Its strategic implication for the entire Indo-Pacific needs to be seen in view of Chinese aggressiveness and a need for its stability for common good. On the whole, the AUKUS is likely to have beneficial impact in the region. A strong Australia with robust military links with US and UK would deter China from misadventure in the region. Conclusion of the answer is: this template may be used to build the defense capabilities of other nations in the region that would go a long way to contain the Chinese expansionist policy and thereby bring stability and peace in the region. Question number 3. Analyze the salience of sect in Indian society vis-a-vis caste, region and religion. Let's start with the introduction of the answer. Sects are smaller groups of faith that may or may not have their fundamentals in traditional religions. Sects are subgroups of a single faith or religion, such as Christianity, Hinduism, Islam, Buddhism, and others. For example, Hinduism has 4 major sects: Vaishnavism, Shaivism, Shaktism, and Smartism. The main body of the answer should be: according to a survey by Pew Research Center, the predominant sect among Indian Muslims is Sunni Islam, 55%, while 6% of Indian Muslims identify as Shia. Sunnis follow Sunnah, the tradition and practices of Prophet Muhammad. Shia Muslims believe that Ali was the true successor of Prophet Muhammad, which is different from what the Sunni Muslims believe. Nationally, relatively few Indians, 6%, identify as Sufi, a mystical branch of Islam. Sufism is more popular in northern India. Navaina is a Buddhist order native to India and inspired by the writings of B.R. Ambedkar. Today, nearly all of India's Buddhists belong to scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, or other lower classes. Indian Christians disproportionately identify with lower castes, 74%, including 57% with scheduled castes or scheduled tribes. While many Indian Christians identify as Catholic, 37%, a variety of other denominations are present in India. For example, 13% of Indian Christians are Baptists, 7% identify with the Church of North India, and another 7% identify with the Church of South India. Conclusion of the answer is: India is a land of many religions. Sects are religious organizations that differ from each other in terms of their origins and primary deities. But there is an undercurrent of religious unity among the various religious sects in the country.